Oi girls and boys and everything in between, it's Ace Trainer Liam back with another of my top 10 series where I'm going through all the Pokemon types, all 18 types. Once again, we did it 2 years ago. We're going through them all again to see if my opinions have changed, see if I think differently about certain Pokemon, think if I like Pokemon more now, if I dislike certain Pokemon more now, and just seeing just what my opinions are. You guys seem to really enjoy my videos where I give my opinions on Pokemon, although some of you really don't. Some of you hate me, and it's really, really funny to see you getting mad over cartoon animals. Like, some of you people are really angry. Like, if I say I don't like this cartoon animal, you guys are like,
I hate you, Liam. You said my favorite Pokemon was a bit of a wimp, and now I really don't like you. I don't know anything else about you or your personality or your character or your interests, but based on this one Pokemon that you don't like, I hate you. I want you to die, Liam.
That's literally how pathetic some people sound in the comments, and it's really funny. If you see anyone in the comments on this video saying, Liam, I hate you because you don't like a Pokemon that I do, make sure you just comment with ha ha ha, just over and over and over, because it's absolutely hilarious. But anyway, this week's type is going to be the ground type, and I'm super excited because there are so many really cool ground type Pokemon that this was a really easy list to put together. So sit back and relax while I bring you my top 10 favorite ground type Pokemon. Number 10, Gliscor. Now, don't get me wrong, Gliscor is a really cool looking Pokemon. It looks fierce, it looks intimidating. It's a fantastic evolved form of its pre-evolution Gligar, because Gligar's really cute, but Gliscor's really boss and scary. But then my only problems with Gliscor is it's a really predictable Pokemon. If ever I come across a Gliscor in any kind of battle situation, I know it's going to be Poison Heal. I know it's going to have a Toxic Orb, obviously, because that's the best thing to use for Poison Heal. It's so predictable that it's so easy to counter. Plus, obviously, it's flying and ground, so it's 4 times weak to ice. Boom, one ice beam, it's gone. It's not a great Pokemon, but it is a really good Pokemon. Like, in terms of overall design, Gliscor absolutely deserves a place in the top 10 ground types because it's so cool to look at. And it has a great shiny as well. Number 9, Marowak. Now, this is a Pokemon that isn't really blessed with the greatest stats in the world, but it does have an edge over a lot of different Pokemon because it has so much deep lore behind it. Like the idea of Cubone having the skull of its dead mother, and then as the rage and emotion builds up inside it, it basically fuses, the skull becomes its actual head, and just, it's such a cool bit of lore of Cubone and Marowak being so torn by the death of their mother that it spurs them into being such a powerful Pokemon, apparently a powerful Pokemon, even though its stats say otherwise. I just really love Pokemon that have that deeper backstory. Like some Pokemon, yeah, their Pokedex entries say some weird things, but with things like Marowak and Cubone, the lore is so deep, and it's such an ingrained part of like Pokemon culture. Like everybody who's a fan of Pokemon knows all about Cubone and Marowak, and it's just one of those things that's really, really amazing about this evolutionary line of Pokemon and about Marowak in general. It's really, really interesting, and it creates more interest in Pokemon as a franchise because these Pokemon are then not one-dimensional. They have so much to them and so much backstory to go along with the powers that they have, the appearance that they have. It's a really cool thing, and Marowak is a perfect example of that. Number 8, Gastrodon. Alright, let's get it out of the way. This is an adorable looking Pokemon. They took a sea slug and they made it something cute, something fantastic, something that everybody wants as a pet, even though it's really, really big and like it could be like this tall. Not so interesting when you think of it like that. But also it's got decent bulk behind it. It's got cool abilities like Storm Drain, and of course it can have the move Recover, which just means that with the bulk that it has, it can be a constant threat on the battlefield. Honestly, Gastrodon sees so much use in battle because it's such a great bulky wally Pokemon, and it can create such havoc. I really do appreciate Gastrodon for everything that it does in the Pokemon world. It's just such a great little addition, and I do like that the east side and the west side Gastrodon have different colors as well. The way I try and remember it is that blue has an E in it, so that's the east side Gastrodon, and that brown has a W in it, and therefore the brown and pink one is the west side. I think that's right, but quote me, even if I'm wrong. That's how I work out which Gastrodon is which, and I hope that works for you guys as well. But Gastrodon, what a great little ground type Pokemon. Number 7, Donphan. It's a really simple but really cool design. It's based on an elephant. It's kind of also based on a tire. And look at that, it can roll around like a tire, like we saw. Oh my god, how good was that when we saw it in the first Pokemon movie? At the very start of the first Pokemon movie, we see Ash take on a Donphan, which somehow he does defeat with Thunderbolt, but we'll ignore that. I remember being a kid watching the first Pokemon movie and being like, what is that? That is incredible. Someone tell me what that thing is. Obviously then I started to learn that there were more than 151 Pokemon, and then I went to that phase of,
I don't like Pokemon, they're adding too many, I'm too cool for this now.
Grew out of that, didn't I? Oh boy. But not only is this a cool Pokemon design, it also gets the sturdy ability, which I really love on Pokemon, because I love Pokemon that can't be one-hit KO'd, because it's just nice for at least being able to get one attack off instead of just being annihilated quickly, especially for a slower Pokemon like Donphan. And also, on top of all of this, Donphan gets access to a great move pool. Like, just to read off a list of some of the moves that Donphan can learn, bearing in mind this is a pure ground-type Pokemon, it can learn Seed Bomb, Ice Shard, Thunder Fang, Iron Tail, Gunk Shot, and Play Rough, to name a few. I can't believe how many moves this Pokemon can learn, and they're such useful moves, and it means that this Pokemon isn't as predictable as some ground types can be, because you never know what setup someone's going to bring with the Donphan. Number 6, Diggersby. Now, aside from its interesting burpy cry, this Pokemon has some kind of rubbish abilities in the form of Pickup and Cheek Pouch, but it also gets access to Huge Power, which makes this thing an absolute menace. Huge Power, of course, doubles the attack stat of the Pokemon that's got that ability, and oh my lord, then Diggersby can wreck. And I'm more talking about Shiny Diggersby, because I really like Shiny Diggersby. Regular Diggersby, take it or leave it, but Shiny Diggersby looks really cool. It's like the perfect color scheme for this Pokemon. It's so cool. I never liked Diggersby when I first encountered it, and now I really love it. Just Shiny Diggersby all the way with Huge Power. Just absolutely annihilate the competition and have fun burping away while you're at it. Number 5, Sandslash. Sandslash is one of those Pokemon where it's really obvious how cool it is. You don't even have to see it. The name, Sandslash, sounds amazing. Then you look at the Pokemon and you're like, damn, that thing looks really freaking cool. Then you have a look into its stats and you see it's got great attack and defense, and it's just an all-round great Pokemon. That's why it's bang in the middle of this list, because it's just a great Pokemon. It's not my favorite ground type Pokemon, but it's certainly one of. It's my good buddy Yoan's favorite Pokemon, and it is let down a little bit by its low speed stat, but of course it gets access to Sand Rush, which means that if there's a sandstorm in effect, its speed is doubled, so it can kind of compensate for that. There's not a lot to Sandslash apart from the fact that it is a really cool Pokemon. It's effective for the uses that it has, and that's about it. It's just overall fantastic. Number 4, Krokodil. Now here's a Pokemon from Generation 5 with just an absolutely fantastic design. Of course it's Krokodil. It's based on a crocodile and a crook, a criminal, a burglar. So it has the kind of prison stripes on it. It has the kind of bandit mask going on across its eyes, although in its shiny version, you kind of see its real eyes and it looks really stupid. But in the regular version, it has that cool criminal design. The fact that it's a crocodile and a criminal, that does make it look really intimidating, which is why its ability Intimidate suits it so well. But also, it has other fantastic abilities as well. It can have Moxie, where it knocks out an opponent and that raises its attack stat, which is absolutely fantastic for this Pokemon. Or it can have Anger Point, where if you hit it with a critical hit, it raises its attack to +6. This thing's an absolute beast. It's one of those few Pokemon that's gifted with having all 3 of its abilities all having their own fantastic unique uses. It's really cool. I love Krokodil in terms of design, in terms of battle options. It's just so well done, and it's definitely one of the cooler looking Pokemon to come out of Generation 5, which often gets a bad rap for not having imaginative Pokemon, but I point them straight to Krokodil. Look how cool that Pokemon is. It's really well done. It's absolutely amazing, and it's definitely one of my favorite ground types. So well done, Krokodil, well done. You almost stole the show. You get it? Number 3, Mega Swampert. Now, when they first revealed the mega forms of the Hoenn trio when Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire was coming out, the first thing that stood out to me, apart from the fact that Mega Sceptile looks like a Christmas tree, is the fact that Mega Swampert looks like an absolute beast. It's so huge, hulking and bruising, it looks so scary, and it was just such a cool development on top of the original Swampert character. As soon as I saw it in Korokoro, I was like, I need that Pokemon in my party. When I get Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, I am choosing Mudkip, I am evolving the hell out of it, and I'm getting myself a Mega Swampert on my team, because that's a cool Pokemon. That's how Pokemon should look. That's really, really absolutely amazing to look at. On top of that, of course, because it's a Mega Evolved Pokemon, it has amazing stats. It's absolutely dominating, and it gets Swift Swim. So if you have an ally that has Drizzle and can bring the rain, or just a Rain Dance Pokemon in general, you have an unstoppable beast in the form of Mega Swampert, because it uses its huge stats and its double speed to absolutely kill everything in its way. Yes, okay, it's 4 times weak to grass. Everything we love is 4 times weak to something, isn't it? It's not a problem. This thing will kill you before you can move, and that's why it's so fantastic. Number 2, Nieto King. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Nieto King right now because I want to talk about it in my top 10 poison types video, so that's something for you guys to look forward to. But just know, Nieto King is really freaking cool, and we all think it. I don't know anyone that dislikes Nieto King, like appearance-wise. Maybe they don't like facing it, maybe they don't like being up against it, but they definitely appreciate that it's a really cool Pokemon design. But we will get to that in the poison types video. Let's see what number 1 on this list is. Number 1, Rhydon. Of course it's Rhydon. There's nothing better in the ground type repertoire than Rhydon itself. The first Pokemon programmed into Generation 1. Just the perfect Pokemon. In terms of stats, it's got great stats. It can be used competitively if used right, especially with Eviolite or even an Assault Vest if you're feeling a bit fruity. In terms of appearance, where it just looks like a Pokemon. If you point at Rhydon and go to somebody who doesn't know Pokemon, what's that? They go, that's a Pokemon, isn't it? Because it looks like a Pokemon. This is what a Pokemon should do. It should take the original animal, in this case a rhino, and it should transform it without making it too unrecognizable, and that's what Rhydon does. Rhydon is recognizable as a Pokemon that is based on a rhino, and it works so well. It looks cool and kind of believably realistic without looking like it's not from an anime, whereas it doesn't look too cartoony that you couldn't say that's unrealistic. It's a great Pokemon all around, absolutely fantastic. There's a reason so many people like Rhydon and aren't so big fans of Rhyperior, which looks like a pile of shit. It's because Rhydon is so fantastically cool. It's the perfect Pokemon. I always say this, it's just one of the most perfect Pokemon there is out there. In terms of design, in terms of use in battle, in terms of everything that it just does it so well, and that's why Rhydon is my favorite ground type Pokemon. And of course, that'll wrap it up for my top 10 ground type Pokemon. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you never miss another video from me. Of course, if you'd like to support the channel like these guys down here do, you can pledge to my Patreon. That's patreon.com/AceTrainerLiam. And until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.